Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Croc 2. Welcome to the Cossack tribe's secret ice cap. Like with the Sailor Village, this is what we get when we retrieve all 5 golden Gobbos in the world. How can you make an ice cap secret, to be honest? Like, is it hidden within the mountains? But anyway, that's kind of a rhetorical question. This whole level, in order to get the second puzzle piece, actually is rather simplistic, to be honest. The first challenge being just avoiding all of these bouncing explosive barrels that are coming out your way. To be honest, I find it pretty alright. Usually, there's supposed to be a barrel that spawns right there. It catches me off guard, and sometimes it will catch other people off guard too. But yeah, you just have to make sure you're watching the bounce of the barrel, if the camera will let you, and that'll allow you to get in and out without too much trouble. And you gotta watch out for the rocks here. Whoop! Cool that they made a little bit of canyon piece right here, actually. But yeah, the barrels right back there kind of reminded me of one specific level in Crash Bandicoot. You know the one that I'm talking about. If you don't, it's a level called Toxic Waste. And I really wish the draw distance in this game was a little bit better, because then you would be able to be seeing, like, what's above you a lot better than what you should be able to, because it's rather vertical. Like, we're climbing the ice cap in order to get to pretty much the top. But it's just all misplaced, and there's no bases, no... I don't know, it just does itself a disservice. Most likely, following the crystals, we're going to be going around this whole thing. And yep, that is the case. Alright, now we got 3 of these paths to deal with at the same time. Originally, it seems like something like this would be a little bit more complicated, because you're wondering what path is right to take. But you'll see soon enough that sometimes with a game like this, you're putting a little bit more thought into it than even the developers thought. Hello, sir. That. Hello, what are you? You're a key way out into the distance that we're gonna have to deal with somehow. Because look at what we just did. Binoculars won't show it very well, but we went on that left path, which has a corner island, up that bridge to where the wizard is, and down here. So we pretty much just skipped the central bomb route. And right here, we just skipped the right bomb path. So really, you only have to do one, and then you can just circle back around and just... you're good to go and golden. So again, pretty simple. Simplistic, and... well, at least it doesn't make your head hurt. Unless you're actually looking for something that will make your head hurt, but... I don't know, a little bit too simplistic for me, to be honest. And of course, that key is going to be for this puzzle piece here, so let's go grab it. is most likely that platform box. The platforms went over here. There we go. Full health is always nice. I say as I want to not have full health. Good for me! Excellent. Where am I? Oh my god, I am right back at the beginning. Okay, screw this level, I'll be right back. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, don't mind me, I just lost all the health that I got back from 100 crystals. But there we go, puzzle piece number 2. I really don't know about that level. It just feels empty compared to, well, honestly, the rest of the levels in this world. It feels the most barren out of them all. And in terms of, like, simplicity, it's fine, but it feels so out of place. But now that we have the second puzzle piece, all we have left to do is the bosses. Starting with this guy right over here. Flavio, the thermal fish. A hot air balloon, yeah, it makes sense that it came from below, because, well, it's cold up here. So let's see what this fish is up to. So yes, Flavio the thermal fish. It's a different kind of boss fight because, well, you're controlling a balloon. How do you use the balloon? Well, it's pretty much the directional buttons in order to control the balloon. You throw with the square button if you had anything to throw. And in order to get something to throw, you have to descend using the X button. Don't descend too far and hit the ground, because if you do, you take damage. And then you should be able to throw it into himself. There we go, and now he'll descend. Now what you actually have to do is, when he's descended, throw another ice cube into his water to make it freeze. Seeing as he's a thermal fish and likes heat, what do we use against him? Ice, something cold. It's not obvious at the first go, which is probably like the biggest flaw in this boss fight, but otherwise it's alright. I think the other thing that kind of bites you in the butt is that when you throw an ice cube, like so, you really have to look to see where the other one is going to show up. Because if you're not paying attention, then you're probably looking around too long, and then Flavio here is just going to come back up. And then you'll just have to go about the pattern more and more. But yeah, this boss fight's not too bad. It's the next one that we have to watch out for. Say hello to Lava Lamp Larry. We heard about him a little bit before, when we just kind of went in front of his tree. Well, now he's been thrown into the lava and is a bit more supersized now. His boss fight has some subtle hints to it, but again is not really that obvious from the get-go. You see the twos that are coming out of the lava pits there. Well, what do you think with lava, and we have a giant block of ice here? What do you think we gotta do with it? Well, first, we gotta melt it a little bit, and that's where Lava Lamp Larry comes into play, because one of his attacks is fireballs. He will shoot a fireball at you, and if you're in the area of where the ice block is, you can then make it a little bit smaller. And from there, just choose a lava pit of your choice. So you can, as you can see with that one pit, it now has a 1 over it. So that means with 4 pits that he comes out of, each having 2 initially, we have to do this a total of 8 times. And that's where the main con of the boss fight comes to, is that there's so much to it. It takes way too long in order to do this, to be honest. Whoop! No, I want this ice pit, because then it's completely frozen over. This gives less areas for him to show up and pop up. But otherwise, it's a kind of rinse and repeat scenario. Just make sure that he's actually throwing fireballs at you, and that you're taking cover slightly with the ice block, if that will actually work. And then you're good to go. So in all honesty, there's really not a lot to say about the boss fight otherwise. So let's throw down an interesting fact about Croc 2. And that pretty much has to do with the fact that Argonaut Software is a UK developer, and Fox Interactive is a US developer, or US publisher, I mean. This kind of... Ow, this is not going well. This kind of interaction between UK and US games industry people kind of leads to some disputes, mainly with language. Britishisms, to be precise, of what I'm actually talking about. With the different versions of Croc 2, there are specific differences between like word usage and what words are coming up when, because Fox published Croc 2 for the US. So they had some small disputes about whether or not some words existed and some did not. Namely the word cheeky as one example. For those who are not sure, and if you miss, you have to keep doing it over and over. For those who don't know what cheeky means, it's kind of refers to a person's attitude. They're like mischievous or jokey, like you're a cheeky little bugger, kind of like that kind of wordplay. So in terms of that, the US kind of didn't consider cheeky to be an actual word, and therefore is not present, or I guess it is actually isn't not present in the US version. I'm not losing this ice cube. There we go. Another example of this is in the Sailor Village with the specific king. One of the messages that we got was him wishing us well in finding our parents. You can also push this block if you really wish to, but there's really no reason to. In one of his messages, he wishes us well in trying to find our parents, our mom and dad, in terms of the US version. But in the UK version, I believe they use they use mum instead, M-U-M instead of M-O-M. So it's those kind of little differences that we have between the different region versions of the game that is kind of interesting. Good, he's dead. Or frozen. Like this guy over here. You gonna do anything about that? I guess not. And there we have it! We cooled down Lava Lamp Larry. They really keep saying that Swap Meet Pete is an odd, weird kind of guy. Oh well. Yep. Is he doing business now, though? Well, he probably won't, because this goes back into pretty much doing the boss fight again. We don't need to, so let's just go on our merry way. Because that is it for the Cossack Village. We're done with World 2. So that means we gotta head back to Swamp Meet Pete, and he is going to give us passage to World 3. What'll that be? Well, we'll find out next time. Let's say goodbye to the Cossack Village and the Cossack King for one last time. Well, you still have to get the whole speaking down right in order to speak, so, hey, your spelling isn't really good. I think he's deep in thought in terms of how his eyes are looking. Either that or he's having a stroke. You okay, buddy? Yeah, you're pretty okay. So anyway, it's time to say goodbye to the Cossack Village. And meet with Swap Meet Pete once again, and head to the 3rd village. See you next time, everyone.